the action being unfair and abuse of power. Hello, good evening, Mr. Boche. Welcome to Eyewitness News.
Good evening, Mara Sander. And good evening to your listeners.
Yes, this is Salom, but that's fine.
Okay,
yes, WAEC is doing its work. It suspects that people had engaged in irregularities and is going through a process to ascertain the facts properly. Why do you say the action is unfair and illegal or abuse of power?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. NUGS has never at any point in time said WAEC should not go through its process. As a matter of fact, it is because NUGS believes that WAEC should go through its processes. That is why NUGS initially wrote to WAEC on the 2nd of January after the release of the results on the 29th of December 2024 that we felt the number of withheld results was enormous. Number two, admissions had started, and so we met with WAEC after our letter on the 10th of January that in as much as they should do their work, by all means they should do their work, they should ensure that they release the results on time and to ensure that innocent people will be able to go back to school as part of the admissions process. And our relation with them had been cordial until we realized that they were set in their ways of doing what they wanted to do, withhold results, and release them at a time when students will not be able to go back to school. And so, as we speak, WAEC has started releasing some of the results. But the reality is that admissions are closed. So for even those they have released, what will the students do with those results? It is useless to them for this year. And even those they are cancelling, that they have found that they have engaged in exam malpractice, they are supposed to be able to resit. But the same WAEC had closed its remedial registration, which is the NUGS, on the 7th of January this year. So it means that these students will have to wait next year to register, and then if they write, next 2 years before they have to go back to school. And this is the unfairness we are talking about. If WAEC had not finished with the examining process, they shouldn't have released any of the results. Because right now, they have created an unfair advantage for some to be able to go to school, and you are now releasing some, which will have to wait for next year before they will be able to attempt to go back to school.
I see. So beyond the demonstration, I mean, why can't you take a legal action against them? The demonstration, I don't know what it will achieve, but why not take a legal action and have these matters resolved once and for all?
We will take the legal action. The legal action is the last resort. The demonstration is to create the awareness that is necessary. Mind you, there is another leg of the issue, which is the cancellation of the entire results of students who have engaged in single cases of malpractice. So, for example, a student may go into an exam hall and engage in a malpractice in French, and WAEC has cancelled all their other 7 results. We are of the view that it is the exam that you engage in the malpractice. That particular paper is the paper that has to be cancelled. And so in that regard, we are demonstrating on all these falls. But afterwards, we are already in the process of aggregating the affected students. As you may be well aware, in our jurisprudence, it is the affected person, the person whose human rights have been violated. It is that person who can sue, that person who has the locus. And this is one of the ways of galvanizing all the affected students so that they can bring a class action against WAEC, which we are going to fund the legal action through our lawyers for the affected students.
I see. Finally, do you know the exact number of students who have been affected?
I know they are in their thousands, but we don't have the exact numbers because all this data is in the bosom of WAEC. From the onset, there were about 300 schools whose results were withheld. Subsequently, WAEC said it was left with about 75 schools. As we speak, we don't know how many is left. But if you do the maths, just about 11 schools went to court integrally. And these 11 schools amounted to about 6,050 students. So even if there are about 20 schools left, you can imagine the number of thousands of students we are referring to. And even those who are left, it's not just about the issue we are concerned about. We are concerned about the whole process. And we are concerned about the fact that this should not happen again. And we intend to go to court to seek a declaration that the process of examining whether someone has copied or not should be part of the examining process. And so if WAEC has not finished fully examining the script, they should not release any of the results, creating an unfair advantage for some to go to school and some not to go to school. Many people have called us, their children are in depression, they are not eating, they are not coming out of their rooms, they have seen that their friends have gone back to school, and we have turned into counselors by force, counseling students who are threatening to commit suicide. WAEC has created very, very serious mental challenges for these students for no reason. All that we are saying is that if you knew you had not finished the work, just don't release the results. Why do you release part of the results for some to go to school and some to remain, and now you are releasing the results for them to do what with the results? That's the position of NUGS. NUGS is not saying that WAEC shouldn't do their work, but do it well.
Very well. Very well. Thanks so much, Daniel Botwe, National President of NUGS, National Union of Ghana Students. Thanks so much for speaking to us on this matter. Meanwhile,